Shalom, brothers and sisters. Grace, mercy, and peace be unto you from Yahuwah, that is our Father, and Yahusha. He is the Messiah, the one that carries the burden of Yah, his voice, our high priest, soon coming King. Hear, O Yeshua, Yahuwah, who is our mighty one. He is one. There is no other mighty one in existence than Yahuwah, and Yahusha is his voice. This is Brother Dawood coming to you again to bring you the last atonement before the gathering. This is part 11, the new covenant. The image that you're looking at is the temple of Telerad. It is desolate. This is Solomon's temple. Who caused it to be desolate? The Greeks, the Romans, aka the white man. Why did he do that? To make you unclean in every way. As long as you're unclean, Yahuwah will not even look upon you. Okay, so the Messiah has come. He is in the heavens, making continual intercession on your behalf. They can't do anything in the heavens, but here on earth, they cause the sacrifice to cease again. How? In the New Testament, it should be named the New Covenant. Constantine the Great said, absolutely nothing Hebrew. Did they stick to it? Yes. They caused the sacrifice to cease, even in the New Testament, by saying things like this. Christ brought the law to an end. Christ abolished the law. The law is no longer in force. Christ is the end of the law. Let's see what he who is seated upon the throne has to say about this New Testament or this new covenant. Let's begin. Yaremeyahu, chapter 31, 31 to 33. 31. Behold, the days come. No. The translator dropped the ball again. Or was it intentional? Is he trying to make you think that all the way back in the time of the one that you call Jeremiah, that the days had already come? It did not. It was a future event brought in by the Messiah. So let's read it again. Behold, the days will come, saith who? His Majesty, Yahuwah, that I will make a new covenant. With who? With the house of Yeshua and with the house of Yahudah. Is that clear? Did he say anyone else? African, Asian, European, black, yellow, white? No. 32. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers. Fathers? Abraham, Yitzhak, and Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Yeshua, and Yah secured him and his seed in the day that I took them by the hand, the Yad, to bring them out of the land of Egypt. are his target group. Which my covenant, they broke it. We broke it, and still breaking it today. Although I was a husband unto them, I provided for them, I saved them, I pulled them out of the muck and mire, saith Yahuwah. 33. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Yasharal. Hold it. Does he have the right to choose any people that he wants to choose? Not according to the white man. He has blended himself into our book, our history book, our covenant. He wants to be a part of our story. After those days, said Yahuwah, I will put my law in their inward parts. There is a pronoun. It describes a person, place, or thing. Who is the there? The house of Yasharal and the house of Yahudah. But in verse 33, the two sticks were joined back together as one. Now they are one house, under one banner, the house of Yasharal. And I'll write, it in their hearts. Write what? This law. And will be their God? I will be their Alayam, their powerful shepherd of men whose name is Yah, who stretched forth his arm to one people and one people only, the Kadusha Yam, and they shall be my people. No other group in the whole world was chosen. Let's go to the New Testament. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 6 to 7. Verse 6. Who also have made us. There's that pronoun again. Who is the us? Is it the people in Corinth? Is it the Gentiles? Is it the Africans, the Asians, the Europeans? No. It's the children of Yasharal that were scattered in Corinth, who also have made us able ministers of the New Testament. They put testament here. Testament speaks of a will. A will needs a testator, someone to read it before the people. It's speaking of inheritance. Why would they use New Testament instead of New Covenant? Because they want the benefits that comes from this contract that was struck only between two parties, the children of Yasharal and Yahuwah. So the word should be the new covenant, if you want to bring it into English, or the new contract. But there's a better word in Hebrew, the new Baryat. What does Baryat mean? In blood. It is perpetual. It seals the deal. It is forever. Not of the letter, not of the law, but of the Spirit. What? Is the law abolished then? No. Remember what he said. The days will come when I'll make a new covenant with the house of Yasharal and the house of Yahudah. What was he going to do? He was going to take those letters and write them upon their heart. Watch this. For the letter killeth. Do you see the demon? He said the letter kills. He says the law is a murderer. Do you see his demon speech? Do you understand what he's trying to do? He's trying to make the law the guilty party. But who is the guilty party? When he gave you the law, he said, if you take this covenant and you transgress against it, there's a penalty phase, and the wages of transgression of the law is death. So what kills? The person who is suicidal, who took the covenant and then turns away from it. But the Spirit gives life, because the Spirit is going to write these laws upon your heart. 7. But if the ministration of death written and engraven in stones was glorious. What are they trying to say here? How would the ministration of death be glorious? It is the white man again. He's coming in, trying to make the law the guilty party. Let's read it again and take out of their deaf speech. Let's read it according to the way that it would be written in the standard. But if the law, written and engraven in stones, made them fear. Why did you say make them fear, Brother Dawood? Let's go into context. So that the children of Yasharel could not steadfastly behold the face of Masha for the glory of his countenance, which glory was to be done away. Done away? What was done away? Was the law done away? Was the death penalty done away with? Was the letter of the law done away? How many of you can read? I'm going to give you 5 seconds to say it out loud. What was done away with? If you said the glory of his countenance, you are right. It is not the law that was done away with, but his shiny face. 13. And not as Masha, which put a veil over his face, that the children of Yasharel could not steadfastly look to the end of that which is abolished. What was abolished? Was it the law? Well, it just told us the glory of his countenance. So they're trying to tell you here in their demonic speech to the end of that which is abolished. Were the children of Yasharel looking to the end of the law? Were they looking upon the law to be abolished at this time when they looked upon Masha with the veil over his face? In order for you to know context, you have to go and read Exodus 34, 29 to 35. Now you read that later, and I'm going to change this sentence to line it up with what you're going to read in the Old Covenant. 13. And not as Masha, which put a veil over his face, that the children of Yasharel, the target group, could not steadfastly look upon his countenance. That's it. 14. But their minds were blinded. For until this day remains the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament contract in blood. What was taken away? The veil that caused the children of Yasharel not to look upon the law. How clear is this to you? Watch this. Which veil is taken or done away in Christ? Hold it. They can't even keep their storyline together. They said Christ is the end of the law. They said Christ abolished the law in their doctrinal principles. You don't have to keep that anymore. But here, the veil that keeps you from looking upon the law, because the first thing you have to do is learn it, then apply it. The veil was taken away. In the Mashayah, the one who carries the burden of Yah in the tent. Are you noticing? There's two thought processes in this book. One is trying to abolish the law, and the other is establishing it. Abaya, you would say Hebrews, chapter 8, 6 to 8. 6. But now, hath he, who is he? Yahusha, HaMashiach, obtained a more excellent ministry? He is in the heavens, making continual intercession on behalf of one people only, the children of Yeshua. By how much also he is the mediator. Mediator? What is a mediator? He stands between two parties. Okay, let me break it down. First, he stood between the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom to bring two sticks back together as one. Then he stood between the children of Yeshua and their master, he who is seated upon the throne, Yahuwah, to reconcile, to bring those two parties back together again. What would be the name in the Hebrew text of the mediator? The Kahan, also known in English as the priest, of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. No, demon, there's no better promises. It is established upon the same promises, till heaven and earth pass away. Not one dot or tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. So then, how can there be a new covenant? There was an amendment to the law. Yah chose a priest, not from the lineage of Aharon, but from the tribe of Yahudah. According to the law, Yahusha HaMashiach cannot be a priest on earth, but he had a more excellent ministry. He would be the mediator, the Kahan, the priest that is in the heavens. So the only amendment was that he chose a priest from another tribe that would go into the heavens to make continual intercession on our behalf, which cannot be interrupted by the Gentiles, but they can only interrupt this by this demon speech that they put in this book. Now you're going to see what I'm speaking of. 7. For if the first covenant had been faultless. Do you see the demons at work? Can you identify what he's saying here? He's saying that the first covenant had a fault. then should no place have been sought for the second. So because Yah's covenant was faulty, it was not perfect. It had a flaw. Then he had to come with another covenant? Is that true? Of course not. His covenant is good. His law is just. It is holy. 8. Watch. For finding fault with them. Fault? Faultless? Who was at fault? Was it the covenant? It's the them. Who are them? The children of Yesharo. The covenant had no fault. But the demon says it does. And our people believed it. He said. Who said? Yahuwah. Behold, the days come, saith Yahuwah, when I will make a new covenant. Hold it. Did we just read this in Yaremeyahu, Jeremiah? That is correct. And here we find it in the New Testament. Okay, so let's see what it says. Behold, the days come, saith Yahuwah. We can say it's come now because Yahushua HaMashiach has already come. When I will make a new covenant. You cannot be a part of the new covenant unless you were first part of the old, with the house of Yesharo and with the house of Yahudah, the same target group, and no one else. 9. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers, Abraham, Yitzhak, and Jacob, whose name was changed to Yesharo. He was sealed, and his seed after him, in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt. This is the exact same language, isn't it? Because they continued not in my covenant. Yes, that is true. We broke it and still are breaking it today. And I regarded them not. I turned my back on them, saith Yahuwah. 10. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Yesharo. What happened to the house of Yahudah? The two sticks have been joined back together as one under the banner of our patriarch, Yesharo. After those days, saith Yahuwah, I will put my law in their mind. Now do you see, if you have this spirit, I don't care what you do, you can't turn back into the world. If you mess up, things are grievous to you. You're uneasy, can't sleep, can't think right. Got to straighten this thing out. And write them in their hearts. Right? Doesn't that do with the letter? Did not the Gentiles tell you the letter kills? He's going to write the letter of the law in our heart. So he's going to murder us? Do you see what the Gentiles have done? They cause you to look wickedly upon the law, as though the law was something ugly. And I will be to them an Alayam, the powerful shepherd of man, and that man's name is Jacob. He is the one who was secured by who? By Yah, who stretched forth his arm to the Kedushayam, his seed. and they shall be to me a people. They were doing good till they got to this part. Why did they say a people? Well, if you're a people, you're one of the many groups in which he chose. But if you say, my people, it is exclusive only to the Kedusha Yam, the children of Yesharal. Yesharal only have I known. I have not known any other people on the earth. Continue to part 12. Shalom.